All right, season 5, episode 5, the postmodern Prometheus. One of my favorite episodes of the show, easily. This episode is amazing. Just fantastic and might have the best ending of the entire show thus far. Near had me in tears. Had Kaylee cry. So, yeah. This is just such a fantastic episode.
Yeah.
So we get this kind of very bizarre opening that's in black and white, and there's a woman in her home in a fumigation tent. Some weird-faced man jumps on her. We got some, we got all sorts of things.
It's like a creep show opening.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
So we jump into it. We get Jerry Springer in here, which that takes me back. I don't know how much you watched Jerry Springer growing up, but I watched a lot because that's my generation, and it's kind of I just remember watching it all the time when I was young.
I watched it not like all the time, but it was definitely like would be on TV. But my mom wasn't really into it because she thought it was pretty trashy.
Oh my God, yes.
So we didn't watch it. Like
it's a train wreck.
Yeah.
Can't look away.
Yeah, we didn't really watch it. And, but I remember Jerry Springer was like, still really big.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the 90s.
You didn't see the movie, The Ringmaster, Jerry Springer's movie?
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then Steve Wilkos, his bouncer, got his own show where he was like another Jerry Springer. It was like a spin-off of it.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I've never really been into those. Like I don't know. I just
there was nothing like it at the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it was new to us.
Totally.
And it was kind of like so for those first few seasons, like things were real and were really interesting. And then, because shows have to keep ratings and they have to keep bringing people back, then things became more and more scripted and more made up, and the people who were coming on who were like, I slept with my dad and whatever the hell crap we get into the later seasons and it's just such nonsense. It's such obvious scripted, but it always makes me wonder, like, who would agree to go on to the Jerry Springer show as a real person and do something like, I sacrificed my kid to the devil or something, like, I don't understand how you go on there showing your face and then go home and be like, it was all just a joke, like, because they're admitting to terrible things and it's supposed to be real.
I don't know. I think, it's definitely was like, kind of like you said, such a new thing for like reality television. The closest that I ever got to like watching reality shows was Catfish, which we've talked about before on the channel.
Yeah.
But I know that like with a lot of those, like the Jerry Springers and stuff, like they look for people that are like, they look for a very specific personality type, for the type of person that would go on to those kinds of shows and like basically make a fool out of themselves or be an asshole or do whatever outrageous thing because it's like attention.
It was such a wild show.
Yeah.
It was such a wild show. They would bring out like, skinheads or like the Ku Klux Klan. They put them on the stage with like black people. And so it was like, oh my God, this is going to be chaos.
That's crazy. I know Dr. Phil was also another one that got really big. And I like seeing some, like, flashbacks to, I think, Dr. Phil and Jerry Springer of, like, goth people, like, on the show. And them being like, your parents are so disappointed in you. And it's just, like, a 13-year-old that's, like, dressed in black. Those are really funny to me.
I think it was Dr. Phil. I can't remember who Marilyn Manson went on.
Oh.
But I want to say it was, like, him or Sarah what was her name? Jessie Raphael, freaking something like that. Anyways, let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that was.
But just seeing Jerry Springer really brought it back. But yeah, so the episode is. Somebody said in there, like when they were getting talked to, that Jerry Springer brought up Mulder in an episode. Oh. So like Mulder supposedly talked about by Jerry Springer in the X-Files universe.
Oh.
I don't know why he would be brought up on there.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jerry Springer probably had some episodes where people were like, I was abducted by aliens.
And like I had an
I'm
FBI
pregnant with their baby.
agent named Fox Mulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Scully's idea on everything is that they just watch too much daytime TV.
Well, yeah, she, when they go there, and she is so skeptical. Like, this is, like, the most skeptical I feel like she's been in a while. And, the mom is, like, describing what she saw.
The Great Mutado.
The Great Mutado. And she, like, goes and finds the comic and is like, is this the Great Mutado? And she's like, yeah, exactly like that. But you come to find out that it's like the son is making that comic because the Great Mutado is like a local legend.
Yeah.
Like, he does
You've
exist.
seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is the episode where we straight up hear like Mulder talking about like, I don't believe in UFOs anymore.
Oh, yes, because she says like, I'm really happy that you came because of the Jerry Springer thing or whatever. And he's like, I don't know that I believe in that stuff anymore. And we're just like, what? Who are you?
I find it very unbelievable that Scully, especially as a doctor, would go into a fumigated house with a tent over it, with smoke still in, the whatever poison still in the air, without a mask. I just don't buy that this would happen.
I think that it's a very campy episode, and there's definitely a lot of logical things that are not like followed through with.
I don't even know what it is.
I also sort of feel like the whole episode is a comic issue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like the entire thing. So I don't know that it's like, 100% true to life, I guess, in that sense. Because that's one of the things that I think is so great about the episode is the style of it. I love, like, the how dramatic it is. It feels like a Hammer, like one of the Hammer horror films. Like, kind of has that, like, just very dramatic and over the top.
Yeah. We find out the Great Mutado has a love for Cher because of the Rocky Dennis story, Mask, which is very cute. And then, of course, we'll talk about that again in the ending. And he loves something else as well.
Peanut butter.
He sure does.
He eats, like, these jars that are like literally like this big, which they all have that in their house. They all have like these giant jars of peanut butter, and I've never seen anything like that in real life.
I have, but
for a household, not for like a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean they sell them at like Costco.
So much peanut butter.
Yeah, I mean that is an insane amount of fat. The Great
Mutado is ingesting.
He'd be the Great Fat Tato.
Yeah,
that much peanut butter, oh my goodness. That's so much, like, fat all the way around. Anyway, this, of course, is more of, like, an homage to Frankenstein's monster.
It is.
Right? That we even have, like, the lynch mob coming for him to burn him out.
And the evil scientist who, like, he's not really like Dr. Frankenstein, but, he makes him and his father, who's like a farmer, and they have a horrible relationship because his son is an asshole, and thinks he's better than everybody, basically, takes in the Great Mutado and takes in, like, his own son. The messed up part about this episode, is that they are, like, trying to get people pregnant so that he can have, like, a companion. Like, so he can have a bride of Frankenstein. Yeah. But it's still, like, and it's funny because the ending of the episode, like, the people kind of, like, when he tells his story, they, like, kind of forgive him. Even though he was they were raping people, which I don't know if it was him or if it was, like, the dad, like, doing, like, taking something from, like, his semen from him and, like, putting it into them.
I honestly couldn't.
It doesn't really matter.
I couldn't figure out that.
Gesundheit.
But I know that, like, what's implied is that multiple citizens within the town are, like, crossbred with, like, pigs,
Yes.
chickens. Like, you have the, like, little reporter who's, like,
Her movements
all,
are
like,
so great.
chaotic, very chicken-like, and
Very,
it's not
very
revealed till
chicken-like.
the end. And then one of them is, like, crossbred with a pig, and,
Yeah.
Whatnot. So, yeah, I don't know if it's the son that did that or it's the dad. But the dad seems to, I don't know. I couldn't really get a read on that. I thought it was all the scientist's son, but, like, the dad's in the house with him while he's dancing around as well.
Yeah.
And I guess he's not affected by the chemical that's being released into the house, but everyone else seems to drop from it. Mm-hmm. It must be part of his mutation.
Yes.
That he can take in the... But he's not even using, like, bug killer. He's using something he finds out in the barn that he puts in
it's a specific, like, chemical that's supposed to, like, calm down animals, I thought.
Okay.
That's why farmers can get it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not specifically to calm down animals, but that's how Scully, like, is able to figure out that it's the farmers, because it's like you need, like, a specific license that only farmers have, like an agricultural license of some kind.
Right.
But yeah.
And then I mean, this guy's getting arrested, Mutado's getting taken away, and Mulder's, like, pissed off. He's like, no, this can't be right. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't how it's supposed to end. And then he says, I want to talk to the writer.
Yeah.
And then we cut to this, like, fantasy scenario that I guess the kid who was present, who creates these comics, wrote the ending that Mulder wanted.
Yeah.
Very La La Land-esque, as I had said while we were watching it, where you get, like, a fantasy of what should have happened. And that scene is
my God.
really heartbreaking and sweet. And we even get to see, like, not only is he dancing to Cher and whatnot, but Mulder and Scully dance together, which is wonderful to see.
I was crying so hard at the end. It's so sad. And so, yeah, just very sweet and tender. Yeah, it's just like how excited he is dancing to Cher. And
I wish Cher would have made a cameo.
I do too.
Here, but...
I wish, but I don't know. Yeah, just have a soft spot.
Sure.
I don't like when people are mistreated because they look differently.
Yeah.
And are made into, like, especially when it's like they can't do anything about it. Like, they didn't ask to be born that way.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Of course, it's terrible, but yeah, the ending's definitely
really
tearjerker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fantastic episode, really fun, really like I said, cheesy and campy, and just like a very, very stylish segue episode.
Yeah. So, yeah, as much as I love it, I don't have as much to say about it. I just, we talked about the little things that we do love, but it just really got with me because it's got such style. It has such memorable stuff happen in it, and the ending is very impactful. So, and it's black and white, and as I said, it's got all sorts of memorable aspects to it. So, all right, that's that.
That's that.
All right.
Bye.